So for Nick, where we've started the recording, day 3, part 1, there was some sort of malfunction in the first section, didn't get caught, but we did a brief review of modified commands, and then we've gotten into the 11 by 17, where I think, Sean, you have it printed out, and you're working from a hard copy, and Taylor, yours is not printed out. So we use the attach command to attach the PDF to the drawing. We enlarged it using the scale command. These are all commands that we'll cover again. But to this point, we've just got some line work done. Polyline command we use to sort of outline the perimeter of the left side of the building, and then using the dimensions on the markup or the 11 by 17 handout, and then offset and explode and trim and so forth to sort of get where we are. So questions on anything before we get into just sort of progress forward, move forward with the exercise? Questions at all? Okay, I don't know if you heard my stomach there. I'm pretty hungry. Sorry about that. It's a pretty sensitive mic. So I'm going to pick back up where I left off. Let's say as a recapper, I used offset command. I offset the bottom horizontal line of the top horizontal wall of bedroom 3. I offset it 13 feet 8.5 down the screen. Then offset that line 3.5 to create sort of the 3.5 inch thick wall, and then I use the extend command to extend the horizontal lines that made up the wall that divided the master bedroom from the bathroom area, and extended those all the way over to the inside vertical wall line that divides bedroom 3 from bedroom 2, and that kind of has I call it compartmentalization. You know, I'm sort of compartmentalizing the floor plan. I've finished the wall lines for bedroom 3, and then I can sort of continue down the screen. There's a walk-in closet that is the interior, so the right interior wall or the right wall line to the interior wall line. It's 9 feet 10.5 left to right. So if I zoom down and I click offset, type in 9 feet 10.5 and press enter, I'll select that new vertical line that was made earlier, move right and left click. So there's the inside wall line of the walk-in closet. All the walls are 3.5 thick. I'll go offset 3.5, enter. I'll left click that new vertical line, move right and left click, and then keeping in trying to keep the drawing neat, I'll hit escape to end the offset command, and I'll start the trim command, and I'll just trim out the horizontal line where it meets, or the wall lines where it meets the vertical wall lines. So I'll go trim, enter. I'll just left click that horizontal line between those two verticals, and that part is done. So if I had a little highlighter, I could sort of scribble over my lines and say, okay, or my dimensions, I've taken care of some additional work there. The bedroom 3 closet, should be bedroom 2 closet, and the hall bathroom, the inside dimensions are 8 feet 9.5, and I'll just zoom down and I'll just offset that leftmost vertical line of the master bedroom. I'll go offset 8 feet 9.5, enter, left click that leftmost vertical line of the master bedroom, left click, move left and left click, and then all walls are 3.5 inches thick. I'll go offset 3.5, enter, left click, and just a little bit of trim because I can see the wall lines of the vertical wall extend into my horizontal wall, trim, enter. I'll trim this guy out. There we go. And escape. Not a bad time to save. I haven't done a ton of work since coming back, but I'll save that. Oops. And when I double click the mouse wheel, it just zoomed me out as far as I can go. So now I'm seeing the markup, and I'm seeing the drawing that I'm working on. And again, as you're plugging away, Some of the lines can be extended from the master bedroom over to the rest of the floor plan. Namely, the bottom wall lines of the walk-in closet can be extended to create a separation between the hall closet and the the hall bathroom and the bedroom 2 closet. So I'll just use the extend command. Open up where trim is, extend, enter. All lines are boundaries, like so. And then when I'm done, I'll hit escape, and I'll use a trim command. Trim, enter. But maintaining that valid boundary between the master bedroom wall lines and the rest of the floor plan. I want to keep the solid boundary. I can always come back and fix it later if I need to. Okay. Questions on anything at all? Is anything giving you difficulty or? Okay. All right. the lines that form the shelves in the closets are just created by doing 1 foot offsets. I think that was one of the last things that we did on our last day together last week. We had offset the vertical line inside of the the linen closet. May have had to do a little bit of trimming to neaten that up, but that that represents 5 shelves in plan view according to the markup. And then we did a offset of 3 lines in the walk-in closet. Once these lines were created, we selected them, opened up the layer window, and just selected what layer they should go to, which is the A-mill up layer. So your bedroom 2 closet will have 2 shelves sort of at a 90-degree angle, as will the bedroom 3. I'll just use the offset command. I'll go offset 1 foot, enter. I'll left click the top horizontal, move down and left click the right, or it's kind of the left vertical of these 2 lines, left vertical, move left. So those 2 lines represent a shelf. I'll just use the fillet command or trim command or whatever just to neaten up that line work. Fillet and trim. Couple more offsets. Offset 1 foot. And I'll hit save. Oops, get out of there. Okay, so still a lot of offset and trim, right? I've got, I did an offset for the shelf lines. There's a little wet wall that sits in front of that tub in the hallway. That's just an offset of 5 feet from the left line of the master bedroom wall. I'll just come down and go offset 5, oops, that's not a 5 feet, enter, left click that vertical line, move left and left click, and offset 3.5, enter, left click, and then finally that wall extends down the screen. The dimension is in bedroom number 2, 2 feet 9. It's kind of obscured by the doorway, but 2 feet 9 is how long that wet wall is. Offset 2 feet 9, enter. And she's a little bit of trim to neaten that up. Escape when I'm done. Question, Sean.
How do you make the shelves go? How do you make the shelves go back to the second layer?
Yeah, let me change these guys back. I'll change it back to a wall. So there's a couple ways you can do it. One is just select the line, and once you have it selected, open up the layer window and click on the name A Mill Up. That's one way to do it. And then another way is, if I already have one shelf line or one yellow line in my drawing, I can use the Match Properties tool on the Properties panel. I'll go Match Properties, left click that shelf line, left click one of those wall lines, and that matches the properties.
That be match layer? Is that what it would be?
Yeah, it would match layer. Well, actually, there's one called match layer, right? Which one is that? Match layer would probably work too. I've never used that. Let me try that. I'll set this back to a wall. So many tools. Match layer, select objects. It's going to select. Oh, so this one's a little backwards. Match layer wants me to select the lines to be changed. Once I have those selected, I'll hit enter. Then it select an object on the layer that should be changed to, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of a cool tool. Yeah, I have almost never seen that. I've seen it once or twice. Did that help?
I think so. Hold on, I'm trying to do it. No. Let's see. So I select the shelves, right?
Uh-huh.
Select the
Yep. Select the shelf lines.
Okay.
And then you could use the drop down. One way is just open up your what's called your layer control window, that window on the layer panel, and then click on the name, excuse me, A Mill Up.
Mill Up. Gotcha.
There you go. And it's kind of cool when you start to add line work on a second or third layer even, the drawing starts to take on a little bit more depth. Starts to have a little bit more completed look to it. So I'm sort of comparing my drawing to the markup, and I'm fairly confident I have all the walls in. So now I'll start making door openings. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 door openings in the assorted rooms, and really it's not marked up on the 11 by 17. It's called out in the general notes that all doors to be placed with 6 inches between hinge side of door and nearest wall. So if I kind of zoom in, and I'll just start off with a 6-inch offset. I'll go offset 6, enter, left click the wall line and move into the room, and left click, and then all my doors are 2'6". I'll go offset 2 feet 6, enter, left click that new line, move right and left click. I need to extend these lines down to contact the bottom wall line. Extend, extend, enter. I'll extend those 2 verticals down. and then I'll start the trim command, trim, enter, and just trim off like so. And then I'll go to the next space. I'll go offset, 6, enter, left click the inner vertical, left click, offset, 2 foot 6, enter. And then extend. Trim to make the door, trim, enter.
Trim.
Save the drawing, go on to the next location, offset 6, enter, offset 2 foot 6, enter. We'll extend.
Okay, and I was behind. Now, how do you do the doorway openings?
Oh, just like, let's see, I've got one. Let me fix this one here. I'll seal this up. Oops, there we go. So I've got most of my wall lines where my horizontal walls meet the vertical wall. They're all trimmed out. So it'll be an offset and extend and trim, but it's all the doors are set 6 inches off of the nearest wall at the hinge side is what that node is. So if I click offset, I'll type the number 6 and press enter. Left click my line, wall line, move right and left click in bedroom 3. Then I'll click offset, I'll type in 2 feet 6, enter. Left click that new line, move right and left click. And then it's just a matter of extending these 2 vertical lines down to contact the bottom horizontal. Extend, enter, 1 left click, 2 left click. Then it's trim, open up the extend tool, trim, enter. I'll just select those lines like so. So it's two offsets. One is 2'6", the other one is one is 6 and the other one's 2'6". So and going into bedroom 2, I need a door opening. I'll go offset 6, enter. Left click the vertical line, which would be the nearest wall. Left click, offset 2'6", enter. Left click that new line, move right and left click. Then it's extend. Open up where trim is, extend, enter. Left click, and then trim. Trim, enter. And just snip out, or left click on the lines I want to go away. So it's a couple steps. Two offsets, extend, and then trim. Offset 6, enter. Left click, offset 2'6", enter. Left click, and extend. A lot of times I'll zoom in pretty close when I'm going to do my extend. Extend, enter. And same with the trim. Trim, enter. And save. So there's a bench. I don't know if I struggle with this. I always sort of forget the bench is there. A bench that separates, or the bench between the walk-in closet and the master bedroom and the little toilet room. That should not go on the layer A mill up, but I've always put it on that layer. So I'll just do an offset in between those two rooms. Offset of 1 foot, enter. It probably should be on a whole different layer, but well, it could go probably what. Do we have an iFern layer? The iFern's kind of furniture. You sit on a bench. Furniture's stuff that gets sat on. I'll select that line and put it on the layer iFern. It's not a huge deal. It's not a big deal, but just to kind of get it officially on a layer. once you're done with your walls and you're done with your doors, you can move into your windows. There's several windows. Some of them are just centered. The window, I guess the one that's most centered is the one that's the right side of bedroom 3. You can see there's a 2'3" and a 2'3" dimension there. And then some of them are just 4 feet and whatever. So when possible, if I see a centered window, I'll just start my line command. I'll find the midpoint of this wall here, left click, and I'll move into the space. And if I offset this wall 1'6" up, and offset this line 1'6" up and 1'6" down, I'll have cutting edges to make a window. I'll go offset 1'6", enter, left click, left click, left click, left click. I can just erase that middle line. Left click it and erase it, and I'll go trim. And
how'd you find the middle again?
Yeah, let me undo that. So what I did was I made sure I've got the midpoint. Let me turn that off. Midpoint object snap. I think we turned that on our first day together. And with the midpoint object snap, if this line is all nice and trimmed out, if this wall line is trimmed out, I can go line, find the midpoint, so that when you see that triangle, that's the midpoint. I'll left click that, and I'll just move towards the left and left click. So that line is right in the middle of where that opening will be.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And I'll just do an offset of 1'6", and I'll offset it up and offset it down. And a lot of them are going to be offsets. They're just going to have to be offset because some of the numbers are just weird. So 4 foot, 6 foot, 3.5, 6 foot, 3.5. Offsets 4 feet. Enter. Offset 6 foot, 3.5, enter. Oh, that's weird. 7 foot 3/4. So I'll just do a distance check here. 3 foot 4.25. That's right. So don't forget that distance command if you're working along and something doesn't look quite right, or you want to double check something. Like I just did a double check of a dimension at the bottom left corner of bedroom 2. I just want to make sure I started at the top of bedroom 3 and did offsets down to create the window midpoint. So I've got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 window midpoints. I just wanted to measure the last one to make sure it was in the right place, and it seems to be in the right place. going to save that. And I just printed out a document for the afternoon session. So I'm going to save my drawing. I'm going to pause for a second. I'll be right back and grab that document. I'm back. So when you print stuff here at CAD Micro, you've got to get it off the printer pretty quickly before someone recycles it. So I just want to grab that document. So I've got my window midpoints placed. Now I can just do my 1'6" offsets to create the cutting edges. So offset 1'6", enter. I'll just offset them up and then offset them down, or down and then up. I have to go each way, so it doesn't matter which way you go first.
Why can't you just do 3 feet?
Well, the dimensions to the middle, so it would just, the placement would be wrong. That's all.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so let me do these last two, and I have to pretty quickly get those extra lines erased, or I'll get really confused. But so this dimension here, this top one, is 4 feet to the middle. So if I went 4 feet, then 3 feet, this window would be misplaced. It's not a big deal in this case. But
Oh, okay.
Does that make
I
sense?
got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so it was easier on the other side because they did it on the other side. It was 1'6" to the edge of the window, 3 feet wide, and I guess 1'6" and 3. That's 3'6" though. So, anyways, I was trying to do math, and I should not try to do math. But sometimes you can just do the math and not worry about the midpoint. You can say, well, 4 foot minus. I can't slow it. 1'6" is 2'6", so you probably could do a 2'6" offset. I think I did mess up here. I'm gonna undo that. So there's this guy, and that guy. That's better. Trim, enter.
I think I did mine wrong.
Okay, you can always undo. Do we look at it or?
Yeah, can you just check one window for me?
Here we go. Ready when you are.
Right in here.
Okay. That doesn't look wrong though.
Doesn't that seem really close?
It's close to the shelf. What's it look like on the PDF? Oh, yeah. Maybe you're right. What do you have for dimensions there? You've got,
Well, I just don't know what this distance is.
I know, it's crazy, right? I think it's going to be 4 feet from the bottom wall to the midpoint. In fact, if I move, no, I can't move. But if try the distance command. If you click distance, good. And if you go kind of right from there, yeah, from that endpoint down to the left. See that endpoint? There seems to be nothing there. Come to the left a little bit. Right there. Left click there, and then go up past that first endpoint to the next endpoint, past that one, and up a little further.
Oops. Oh.
And just put, there you go, and then now come down to the middle one. Just click it there, right there, and left click 3, 3.25. Now, can I get at my AutoCAD? I don't think I can. I think that's supposed to be 3, 4. So where would that extra? Not 3, 4. It should be 4. It should be 4 feet. But it's not. It's not dimensioned. That's the hard part. Can I get at this? I'm going to pull mine over. I think you're still a presenter. If I maximize mine, it's not so trimmed up now at this point. From that same location, in between 2 points, I'll go one endpoint. It is 4. So where would that?
Okay.
Trying to where that extra. What is it? If it's 3, 3.25, and it should be 4 feet, that's 8.5-inch difference. Where's that come from?
No.
That's a tough one.
I can delete and try again.
Yeah. What do you have so far? Like, if you zoom out a little bit, let's see what you got. I mean, those two look. Let me see what mine looks like up top there. So that's got to be right. 2.6 is right. Right, and it's 3 foot wide window. It's perfect. And then the next little gap is what, 3, 3.5. Let me check mine. Same, 3, 3.5. It's a 3 foot window. It's perfect. Let's see, that's still outside the closet. And if you come back to the top line, right there, up a little bit, right to that endpoint, 4.25. I got 3. Oh my eyesight is so bad. 3, 3.5. So
Okay, so it should be 3, 3.5.
yes.
Okay.
So that's where that is. So you could. It's a really yeah. You could just offset that short little the bottom edge of that window. Just do your 3, 3.5, 3 foot 3.5.
And then,
Well, for this one, you can just do a 3 foot. Because you're at the top edge of it. Just go offset 3 feet. Nice. And a little bit
Okay.
trim. Good.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you did all the work. And show my screen. I'm going to bring my AutoCAD back into the picture. There we go. I'll zoom out. Never a bad time to save. I'm sorry, a little loud. So I kind of repeated the process along the bottom horizontal wall as I employed on the left vertical wall, just offsetting to the midpoints, and then I'll come back and offset the sides. So I've got offset 1'6", enter, and I'll just left click to take these each way. Delete that and then trim, and
Question.
go ahead.
So in bedroom 2, the windows on the left side, it's for. Oh, never mind. I answered my own question.
Okay. Yeah, I think I set this up. And this is really wacky. 3'4", 4'6" 3/4, 4'6" 1/4. I mean, I'd much rather see these two spaced out more evenly, but there may be, it can't be centered, right? I mean, so it's definitely wacky placement. So feel free to center it up if you want to, or.
I'm just moving a little slow, so bear with me.
Well, I mean, it's only day 3, so that's to be expected. Just missing there. Let's see that. But even still, even though we started this plan with the polyline command and direct distance entry and ortho, pointing in our desired direction, typing in our distance, we're still coming back to that offset and trim. With straight AutoCAD, if you need to put windows into window openings, doors into door openings, there's still going to be a certain amount of offset and trim to achieve that end. There's a product called Autocad Architecture that's geared exclusively towards creating floor plans, and we don't have to do all this work, all the offsetting and trimming. it's it's a different piece of software, but it's designed to just create floor plans. So when you go to put a window in, the wall just accepts it. You can set parameters like center it or put it this distance off the end of the wall. So it is kind of it's sort of a laborious task to do floor plans. Really, anything in AutoCAD is going to be a little bit time consuming because you're sort of creating it from scratch. All right, we're at about 10 till. We've been going for about an hour. Why don't we go ahead and save our drawings, and we'll take a break, and we'll break for lunch. When we come back, we'll finish up, putting in more door openings, finish putting in window openings. We'll finish putting in shelves and that sort of thing, and then we'll get to a point where we can start to insert our windows and doors and so forth. Questions on anything? Questions at all? Okay. All right. I'm going to start the timer up, and we'll go for about I'll do an hour and 10. That's 70. And all right. Enjoy your lunch. We'll speak after the break.